Good afternoon, everyone. Jill here with North Texas Vegetable Gardening, canning recipes, a little bit of everything. It is baking season here, and one of the most favorite things this time of year is fudge. We jazz ours up a little bit, and we make what we call Dorchester Fudge. So stay tuned. I'm going to show you how to make this delicious fudge recipe that your family are sure to love, or as gift giving this holiday season. Stay tuned. Let's go over what you're going to need for this recipe. You're going to need some of the Baker's semi-sweet chocolate or any other brand. You're going to need a 1/4 cup of butter or margarine. We believe in butter and we're going to use butter. We have our chopped nuts, sugar, jet puff marshmallow cream. We have our baking vanilla and we have evaporated milk. Let's get started. Let's go over the recipe, guys. We have our 1 package of 8 squares of the Baker's semi-sweet chocolate and we chopped it up. Then we have a 1/2 cup of marshmallow topping, a 1/2 cup of chopped nuts. We are using pecans. You can use walnuts or any other kind of nuts, maybe almonds. We have a 1/2 cup of butter at room temperature. We have 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla, 1 1/2 cups of sugar, and then we have 2/3 cup of evaporated milk. Look at that marshmallow topping. So excited. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a bowl and we're going to put our butter in there, our marshmallow topping, which looks delicious. So get all your marshmallow topping out, your nuts, and your 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. We're also going to add our chocolate. So this is going to be the mixture, and I think you're probably figuring out what's fixing to happen. We're going to cook our evaporated milk and our sugar, and when we pour it on here, it will melt it up. Let's see. Okay, so I have my evaporated milk and my sugar in a saucepan, and I've got it on about medium heat. We're going to get this going. And we want it to come to a rolling boil. And then we're going to let it boil for about 5 minutes, stirring constantly. Okay, so you can see it starting to boil. Again, we have it on medium heat. I'm going to turn it down a little bit. We want to do this for about 5 minutes. Be sure and stir this constantly, guys. You don't want this to burn on the bottom or scorch. We are about 3 minutes into it, guys. You can see it's almost looking like it's caramelizing, but it's not. Keep it stirred, keep it stirred. Coming up on the finish, you know, it's a shame that we only make these things one time a year. In fact, I did a Christmas cookie video and where the Christmas cookie tradition came from a couple of years ago. And I'll give you a quick rundown. And Christmas cookies came about because back in the day, people could not get baking goods and the sugars and the sweets that they needed. It's that one time a year. That's the only time that the general public, other than the king's courts or the ruling powers courts, would allow the baking goods. And so that's why we have Christmas cookies. Guys, go check that out. It's a very interesting story and a very great tradition to share with your kids. So we're going to finish up here and then we're going to pour it on our chocolate and our marshmallow cream, nuts, and butter. And then I'm going to show you what to do next. Okay, so we're finishing up on our 5 minutes. It's time to take this beautiful stuff off the stove and pour it in to our other goods. Ooh-wee, look at that. So good. So, I'm going to set this aside. And now, we're going to mix up our chocolate, our marshmallow, our butter, and our nuts. And that's why, guys, you want to finely chop your chocolate because it helps it to melt much quicker. Look at that. Ooh, this is going to be good. I'll take some of this to my mama. She is a sweet eater and loves her sweets. So what we're going to do once we get this all mixed up really good is we're going to put it in a buttered 8x8 casserole dish, and we're going to chill it for 1 hour. And then we'll cut it into our fudge pieces. Look at that. You can see it's going to be light and fluffy and nutty. This is one of our Christmas faves. And again, it's really sad that we only do this once a year, but sure is enjoyable to do this time of year when it's cold and I can't get outside and do a lot of gardening. It's my cooking time and my baking time. Okay, it's time to transfer to our 8x8 dish, casserole dish. We want to get all of this goodness in there. This is a light, fluffy fudge, and it's a little bit different from your traditional fudge, which is very dense and chocolatey. This gives it a little bit of a nutty, marshmallowy flair. Yep. Okay. So you want to spread this out in your 8x8 dish. And you want to make sure that you butter it so it doesn't stick. Get it as even as you can. And now we're going to chill it for at least an hour. And then we'll cut it into our fudge squares. You can see it's already starting to harden. So let me check back with you in an hour. Oh my goodness, guys, here is the finished product. You can see this is not our normal type fudge where it's really thick and when you bite into it, you leave your teeth marks. You can see it's like a very soft consistency. This is absolutely good. My husband and I have already taken a couple of pieces, but I'm really excited with how it turned out. And this again is called Dorchester Fudge. So you're going to want to look this up and you're going to want to make it, and you're going to want to check out our recipe at the end. So as you can see, our fudge is very easy peasy to make, guys. Again, this is very good. It's light and it's fluffy. The marshmallow cream makes it to where it's almost brownie-like, guys, like a hot brownie-like, even though it's cold. This is so very good. I'm going to pack this up and I'm going to take some to my mom, and we're going to be munching on this all week. So we thank you guys for watching. We have a lot more Christmas videos coming up. So be sure and hit that subscribe button. Take care, God bless, and we'll see you in a day or two.